How's it? Welcome back, YouTube. Brother Kimo here from Reload Hawaii. Hey, it finally happened. I finally ran into my first single action revolver. This is a Ruger Blackhawk chambered in, of course, 45 long Colt with a 7.5-inch barrel. Well, let's see how she shoots. So check that out. 7.5-inch barrel Ruger Blackhawk. There it is sitting in a leather sheath. What a blast, guys. What a blast. Let me pick this up here so I can kind of show you what that looks like. This is a left-handed holster. The guy bought it from was left-handed, but I just wanted to show you how thick the leather is, and the stitching is great on it. There's the Ruger Eagle right there. That's pretty sick. Gonna end up selling this off. Maybe I can afford to buy some ammunition for it because the freaking ammunition is crazy. So here it is. This is the 45 long Colt. First time I've shot this. You know, it feels very much like 45 ACP. It's not too snappy, and of course the bullet size is going to be about the same size, and actually when you look at the targets, they're going to look like a 45 ACP. But yeah, these freaking things are hella expensive. I missed a gun show. I couldn't go when I was filming this video, and they had American Eagle for 36 bucks. You know, a gun store had a sale on them. So I called back the same shop, and they're like, nope, it's $56 for the American Eagle 50 round box. I'm like, what, $56? So I called around, and I found you know, a gun shop here that sold them for, I think it was like 20 bucks for 20. Whatever it was, it basically came down to $1 for one of these bastards. So if you're gonna shoot these, it's almost worth just buying one of those Lee Pro 1000s that comes with the die and all that stuff. And you make that up within a few hundred rounds, you know, so you don't have to keep buying these things. But yeah, I was pretty grumpy balls shooting these things, knowing that I'm throwing $1 down range. But hey, whatever, it was really fun. So same size, you know, about the same size as 45 ACP, and recoil, it's about the same. Well, let me get these out of here so I can pick them up and show you what it looks like really quick. Oh, real quick, these are the grips that it came with. These are the plastic checker ones. These guys are really beautiful. I'm really happy the guy decided to throw those in. And the grip angles are different. So let me go over that really quickly here. Let me rip this out. Let me whip this out. For those of you who know what that's from, let me whip this out. Okay, so those are the grips. Super nice checkering. There's the Ruger Eagle again, and it's so natural in the hand, this grip. And it does have its advantages and disadvantages. So you have different types of single action revolver grips. This one tends to not really assist in having the recoil move backwards. Instead, it makes the muzzle flip upwards. Single action shooters call it roll. And you know, they're gonna recommend, hey, don't fight it. Don't try to control the muzzle flip. Just let it rise and then come down, and you'll be okay. But this particular grip angle, like a plow grip, traditional Western style, can get kind of iffy when people are shooting bigger calibers and they're not too sure if they can control it or not. So they do make stuff like the bird head grip, which you'll know it when you see it. It basically looks like the beak or head of a bird, and like the Beasley stuff that Ruger makes. The Beasley one is actually more of a straight angle versus a curved, so you're able to take the recoil more back in the hands. Now, I don't know if all that stuff is true. That's just kind of what they recommend for people that want to get the recoil going more back in their hands. So that's nice. Here's a good shot at the Ruger 45 caliber Blackhawk. Blued. The bluing on this thing is absolutely beautiful. We got a ramped front sight here, and of course the rear sights are adjustable for wind engine elevation, and same affair. I just really wish it was to start making these two screws the same size, but that's adjustable as well. Let me see if I can get you a shot of the sight radius here. Bam! So the sight radius is like 13.5 inches or something nuts. The barrel is 7.5 inches. Here's a good look at the hammer. Nice little grip jimping on the hammer there. Trigger pull on this one is very light. You're gonna see it's pretty reasonable. And another thing that I was looking up was the differences between the Super Blackhawk and the Blackhawk themselves. Most of the guys on the internet, you know, basically were saying that it's the same thing. It's the same cylinder. It's the same frame. You know, this can handle plus loads. It's just that the Super Blackhawk's available in the 44 mag, and it's got fancier stuff. Like it's got a fancier trigger. The hammer's a little bit more fancy, so you get a little bit of extras in there, along with being able to shoot 44 mag. All in all, this was a super fun gun to shoot. The trigger pull is very light. Oh, and just really quick for people that don't know about Cowboy action shooting, you know, or single action revolvers, you won't get anything. Like, you can pull this thing as hard as you can, but you need to cock the handle first. That's what a single action revolver is. And the trigger pull is very light, and a lot of people, once they take a single action revolver and they shoot it, and it, you know, especially something of that size, they're like, oh, this thing is pretty accurate. Oh, there goes another thing too. This 7.5-inch barrel, you figure it would be really easy to shoot and very accurate. It's hard to keep this steady, man. Like, when you got your arms out there and you're trying to balance this thing and it's dipping around on you, you're like, oh god. It takes practice, you know. I mean, it would take a long time for me to get used to how long and heavy that barrel is, but with enough practice, this thing is gonna make an awesome target gun. But that's not really the purpose most people are going to use this for. But it's a fun gun to shoot. I really enjoy shooting it. Here's a look at the loading gate, and it does spin freely without the hammer having to be cocked. A lot of the other Cowboy action guns still have that in place, where it has to be like a half cock and you have to spin it. But pretty cool stuff. Lock and load there, but real basic gun. You know, I would recommend maybe starting with a 5.5 versus a 7.5-inch barrel. But that's what was available to me, and you know what? It was a little bit difficult trying to do this thing when you kind of flip open the gate and you gotta push all the way back, and you turn it one and you push all the way back. See how it's kind of stuck? You gotta make sure that that chamber is fully free, and a little bit uncomfortable because I'm not used to you know, handling one of these. But again, with enough experience, you'll be able to do that. So let me put this guy down here. Let's move into the overall weight, trigger pull, and I'll show you what kind of results I had accuracy-wise. Let's get into it. Okay, overall weight, 2.9 pounds. Pretty heavy, 7.5-inch barrel. Trigger weight, 3.14 pounds of trigger pull. That is a decent single-action trigger. Here's my grouping at 25 yards. Shooting two hands, not too shabby. Here's what I did with one hand at 25 yards. You can see on the upper right hand corner that 10-inch nailed it. Oh my god. Nothing more satisfying than loading a single action pistol, swinging that load gate open, sliding those rounds in one at a time. Again, a little bit more difficult trying to eject those casings out one at a time if you're not too familiar with doing that. Man, look how far that is. 25 yards. Can we get a little bit closer? Jeez. Anyway, this will be my gateway drug into Cowboy shooting, I'm pretty sure. That's the end of the review, guys. I hope you found it useful. If you haven't subscribed to my channel, please do. And if you like the review, give me the thumbs up. And I will catch you later.